All right, we are live. Hey, kings and queens. It's Sandra Fenwick here, your mortgage consultant. I am here with Mr. Steve Twyman, the owner and branch manager of Mortgage Experts, who has been my mentor and the person that introduced me to this business. And I learned so many things from him. So I asked him to come on with us to enlighten us about commercial real estate. I don't think a lot of people know that mortgage experts could help you get properties for your business. And so that's something I always want to highlight because you have options on the business end of things. So, Steve, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. I'm Steve Twyman, branch manager and also owner with Marcus Elegant of Mortgage Experts. So I'm excited about this opportunity. So thank you, Sandra, for allowing me to just speak briefly, if you will, in regards to commercial real estate. A lot of people think that Mortgage Experts is primarily focused on residential, but we have a huge outlet for commercial real estate. And no business is too small and no business is too big when it comes to our commercial real estate services. And actually, I even just discovered yesterday that when it comes to mixed use properties, those are actually eligible for FHA financing. So I always tell people I don't know it all, even when I think I do. And I just discovered that on yesterday, helping the client to purchase a mixed use property using FHA financing, which is on the residential side. So be prepared for a lot more options, if you will, from mortgage experts. And again, Sandra, thank you for this opportunity.
No problem, Steve. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Now, since you brought up mixed use, let's for people who don't know, who has businesses and looking to get properties for their business, what is a mixed use property?
So mixed use is where the building serves multi-purposes, right? So a great example of that is if you ever see an apartment building and down below they have retail office space for restaurants or whatever the case may be. And then on top, it has apartment units. So that is considered a mixed use property.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and we can go into detail about that. I know I don't know if you know, but I used to work for CoStar, which is the number one commercial vendor information. It's almost like the MLS for commercial real estate. So I know a few of these terms, but I know a lot of people who say, "Oh, I want to move my business into a brick and mortar, but I don't know where to start." So that's where you would call us at Mortgage Experts, and we can show you where to start. What are some other types of properties that we can do lending for?
Well, commercial fits a lot of different diverse needs. Whether you're looking for church financing, that would be considered commercial. Maybe you have a daycare, funeral home. Maybe you're looking to open up a grocery store. Anything, strip malls. I mean, all of those different types of units, bar, nightclub, restaurants, you name it, you got it. All of that falls under the commercial financing scope.
All right, that's perfect. All right, so if you have a business, and so let's get into kind of multifamily because I know a lot of people are into getting multifamily. Um,
Correct.
you can get a primary loan for multifamily units up to 4 units. Anything five and over would be considered commercial.
That is
Um,
absolutely correct.
yeah. So I guess you can kind of elaborate on that. If,
Absolutely. So, as Sandra referenced, anything from 1 to 4 units would fall under the classification of a residential purchase, and we're more so looking at something that would be considered like a apartment building, so to speak. Any apartment building over 5 units, I mean over 4 units, five or more, is then under the classification of commercial real estate. So there's two different approaches that will be utilized depending on which option you're looking for when it comes to obtaining financing. So 1 to 4 units really fall under the traditional guidelines, whether that's FHA, conventional, USDA, and VA. So those are your traditional forms of financing. So let's just say hypothetically, and this is really good for people that maybe want to kind of invest in real estate, but don't want to be as aggressive. I would look at a 4-unit property. I would occupy one of those units and I would rent or lease out the other 3 units in a 4-unit capacity type property, right? So now I get to have a home of my own that I'm living in. And then the other 3 units with the rent receivables coming in, I can use that rent to pay the mortgage. So technically I'm living for free. So that's a good way to kind of get your feet wet with real estate investing, but also being able to take advantage of being a homeowner with the tax write-off, the ability to write off the interest, and also equity appreciation. Now, when we transition over to 5 units or more, it's a little bit more aggressive. Still actually have the opportunity to treat it as what we call an owner-occupied property. However, you would be under the auspices of a commercial type financing situation, which would require a little bit more cash injection. And then the terms as far as how the mortgage amortizes will be a lot more different than that on the traditional side, where your mortgage will amortize as if it's a 30-year mortgage.
I love that. I love that we started on this topic because this is kind of a piggyback from the Lunch and Learn from last week with Toya Brim, who was talking about many different ways to make money in real estate. And owning multifamily units is a great way to do that. And getting in, like if it's your first one with just up to a 4-unit, living in it and collecting the rent, like Steve said, that builds your portfolio, it builds your history. And once you get that investment history and that history owning the property, then it makes it easier for you to get another loan to buy other property. How important is it to build in that commercial piece when it comes to investing, Steve?
All right. Actually, Sonia, that's a great question, right? And as a owner of several different businesses, one of the things that I really want to highlight to my future investors, current business owners, is the fact that when you buy commercial real estate, it helps the valuation of your business, right? So let's just use a carryout for an example, right? Since that's one of my recent deals I'm working on. Well, now when we inject, or when this client injects their carryout in this property that they're looking to buy, they're not leasing. So that real estate supersedes the growth of the business and the valuation of the equity of the business. So now, just for simple math, let's just say it costs $100,000 to plug and play this carryout, right? But they go and they buy this building for $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. Now that business valuation goes from a $100,000 situation to a $600,000, $700,000 situation, with the ability to only go up as the equity in that community or in that property goes up. The valuation of that business that was only worth $100,000 now has the potential to go up to $1 million, $1.5 million, $2 million, depending on how that business grows in that space. Right. So a lot of people, what they do is they'll buy a business or start a business with the anticipation of keeping that business for 5, 10 years and then sell that business. So now let's just say you got a $100,000 business. You bought a property for $300,000. You got a $400,000 situation. You stay in that neighborhood for 5 years. You might be able to sell that business for $3, $4, $5 million after the fact, especially if the business is proven and tested. So now when it comes to what Sanjay was referring to as far as wealth building, you just wealth built yourself. So you started off with a $400,000 situation that's now worth $3, $4, $5 million in a 3 to 5 year span, is well worth entertaining the perspectives of buying commercial real estate and plug and playing your business into that entity.
I love that. That just brought on so many questions, but I'm going to ask you one. Once that business grows to that valuation, you went from $400,000 to $5 million. Can you then come back to us to get a loan to pull money out to start maybe a new location or a new, like, how does that work?
So even on the commercial side, just like residential, it does allow for you to do refinances, right? Because commercial real estate, usually the terms are shorter. Oftentimes, people will end up refinancing 5 to 10 years anyway, from the initial loan that they take out, until the business, possibly pays the building off or pays that commercial mortgage off. So just like residential, there may be a need. I get businesses all the time that reach out to me, say, "Hey, I've been in this commercial loan for a minute, but I need to pour some cash out of this situation because the valuation did go up." So therefore, it then creates a whole nother element in regards to ways that you can utilize the equity from that whole entire business, right? To pull money out, expand the business. Commercial does equipment financing. Commercial will help you get cash flow money if you want to increase your staff, if you want to renovate, or rebuild, or open up even a whole nother business. There's a lot of different ways we can maneuver with commercial real estate.
Love that. All right. So what if I see a business that I know for sale? For example, there's a young lady selling a beauty supply store across the street from my house, and she's been trying to sell it for a long time. And she's like, I have all of this stuff. You could just buy the whole business and the property and just take it. How do we approach those situations?
So, I mean, so at the end of the day, it's really about a motivated buyer who wants to buy into that business model. And usually, excuse me, usually the business will be vetted, right? A lot of people, even though if let's just say I'm the individual going to buy it, I'm going to vet the business to see if it's a business that I want to entertain. Now, my numbers might be different from the current owner's numbers, right? I'm still going to want to see what type of cash flow and revenue has been generated. And just like anything, I'm going to look at assets and liabilities when it comes to buying this business, because if I'm going to vet this business, I want to make sure that I have the mentality and wherewithal to see how I can either better that position, or if that business, because some people just want to get out if they tired, or they just want to retire. The business is making money, because that's a question like, wait a minute, if your business is making money, why you want to get out? There's so many different reasons why some people may just want to relocate and don't want to deal with the nuances of the business. So there are other variables that fall into play that will be taken under consideration for me as the buyer of that particular business. But it's really all about my appetite. Do I want to get into this business? Is it self-sustaining, or is there a way that I feel like, hey, I see what you're doing, but I feel like if I buy it, I can even do more to expand this business. So all of that is part of the vetting process, but very doable.
Okay, that's perfect. All right, so we can help you buy properties, we can help you buy businesses, we can help you with when you have your business model and you decide you want a brick and mortar, or if you see a business and you vetted the business, as Steve said, and you decide, hey, I might want to buy that business, then you reach out to us and we can give you the step-by-step play of what you need to do to get this thing going. What other types? So let me first point out that we are not stuck in the DMV area to help you with these things, right? We can do this nationwide, anywhere in the United States.
Correct.
I get calls from people all over the country asking me about purchasing apartment buildings, businesses, etc. We do trailer parks, campgrounds, hotels, condo tails, retail space. The cannabis business is big. We have people that do those types of loans. As far as if you got somebody brand new that don't know where to start, what advice would you give them?
Well, actually, let me just start off with the laundry list, right? That you just did. You did a short list. I'm gonna just put some stuff out there, and I'm sure it's going to trigger some different individuals. So, from a standpoint of commercial lending, we can start with automotive, right? So, if you are a mechanic and you need your own facility, automotive. Mixed use, I talked about that earlier in this presentation. Multifamily, that's the 5 units and up. But we also just discovered that FHA has financing options for mixed use and multifamily below. Office space, if you we do office condos often. Maybe you need warehouse space. Maybe you need something for your retail store. Industrial, self storage, an office condo. We talked about churches earlier, bar, restaurant. Maybe you want to open up a car wash. Maybe you just need a spot for your convenience store. Funeral homes, hospitality, daycare. Sandra just referenced daycare. Mobile home parks, that was referenced as well. Land, commercial real estate for land, cannabis, and more. And also, even on the commercial real estate side, USDA. Maybe you're looking at some form of a horse farm or something like that. We can actually do USDA financing for that. We haven't even talked about SBA loans, like small business administration loans that help you with buy your business, right? With 5 to 10% down on the commercial side. That's huge. And there is also even a conventional perspective when it comes to commercial real estate. And believe it or not, we also even do hard money for fix and flips for commercial real estate. So as you can see, even such as residential, commercial real estate offers a lot of different ways that you can either expand your business or just help create generational wealth for yourself and your family. So commercial real estate is definitely an option that you can consider. And no subject is off the table. So if there are any questions or if you're just trying to see if you're a good fit to operate in that space for the commercial arena, then that's what Sandra and I are here for, to help you do a full evaluation and see if we can put together some form of a plan for you to be successful with whatever your commercial real estate endeavors are.
And one of the biggest questions I get when people come to me about commercial loans is, how much do I have to put down? What's the interest rate? Those are all tricky questions because, as Steve said, we have to evaluate the business that you want. And we have to come to terms with your business model, et cetera, et cetera. And then we got to decide what type of property you want to buy. And then we got to decide what type of loan program we're going to put you in. So those general questions are pretty hard to answer at the initial, So then when you have a conversation with us, then we can get that information for you. But it all starts with the idea. Anything you want to add?
So usually what I like to do is with any loan, I always approach it with, let's put a plan in place. And when it comes to interest rates and options, those are all diversified conversations, because I don't want to tell you your interest rate is going to be 5, 6, or 7%, right? And then we find out that the program that offers that particular rate doesn't apply to you, or you don't qualify for that program. And maybe we have to look at an alternative option where the rates might be 7, 8, or 9%, right? So it's all a part of putting the plan. Now, one of the things that mortgage experts do for our clients is, we're not going to put you into something that we identify that you can't afford, or you can't, you're going to be set up for a disaster to fail. So part of that vetting process is making sure that we find the right product for you, but also we care about the longevity, because we want you to be a client for life. So not only do we want to help you acquire the property, but we also want to be there throughout the years of the growth of the property whenever you may need to refinance that property, sell the property, expand the property, maybe look at other businesses to buy, whatever the case may be. We're about the relationship. So we're not here just to take your money or make some money off of you and then we're done with you. No, we're looking for a committed relationship for the rest of our God-given days in this business, helping you expand your portfolio. So every mortgage program, residential or commercial, is going to give us a different equation, but it's all about putting the right plan in place to make sure that we're going in the right direction with that plan.
I love it. So yeah, that's usually my answer when people ask me that question, like, because they want you to give them a number, and they're like, no, we actually have to come up with a business plan.
Right.
I'm so grateful for you coming on and dropping these jewels. I'm learning. We know what the state of our country right now. People are losing their jobs, and people are afraid of what the next 4 years will hold. So, getting into investing and building your portfolio and start focusing on your wealth, you will no longer have to worry. So, if you have those, you will always wanted to run this type of business, and you have your retirement account, your cash value life insurance. I think now is the time for you to go ahead and.
I just wanted to add to that. So when it comes to identifying where the money comes from for these commercial transactions, there are government grants that will help you buy commercial real estate. Because commercial is a lot more flexible than that of residential, there's a lot of strategic ways that we can structure your deal, whether that's the seller doing seller financing of some portion of it, you come in with some portion of it, and then the rest will be bankable. As I referenced earlier, a few seconds ago, there are various different grants depending on your business that can also help contribute to the cause. So there's a lot of different ways that we can bring commercial together, commercial financing together for you, totally different from that of residential, where we don't have so many restrictions and things that we have to apply to or adhere to. So I just wanted to add that nugget. And also, one of the things I left off the table, everybody's asking about this no doc situation, which is now labeled a DSCR. You can actually do debt service coverage ratio loans on commercial real estate. And believe it or not, that term and that product actually came from the commercial real estate environment. We just figured out how to apply it on the residential side. So now that's a reduced documentation type of loan, as long as that property conforms to what the mortgage is and the revenue generated from the property. We can do a debt service coverage ratio mortgage on that loan and help you buy the property with minimal to no documentation.
All right, now you hear this, guys. If you're watching, you watch this now or you're watching it later, this is your time. You always wanted to start that business. Right now is the time. There's uncertainty. There's no better time than the present to start building towards your wealth and start building towards your future. So if you have questions about that, please reach out to us. There's a lot of things that, like Steve said, we can't cover all in one video because it's all a cookie cutter situation. Similar to the mortgage side, the residential mortgage side. I don't think no two loans that I've ever done was always the same. So it's important for you to come to the experts and get the information instead of listening to somebody else's story, because that story could change. Every day there's new loan products coming in that's offered. And there are every day there's some that are taken away. So it's important to sit down with the experts and come up with the plan in order to know, in order to get the current situation, the current offers, the grant. I didn't even think to bring up the grant option. I didn't think to bring up that because this nation is built upon entrepreneurship, money flowing. The more businesses we have that are successful and that are built, the more money this country makes. So this is a great opportunity for you. Anything you want to say?
All right, great input, Sandra. And I just want to try to make sure we tackle as many perspectives as possible when it comes to commercial real estate. I left off the table for whatever reason, development deals, right? I think one of the largest projects I worked on was a $55 million development deal where they were trying to buy an entire apartment community in Florida. But also we do construction. So from ground up, from the floor up to full construction, we can do your development deal, or if you just want to build your own office complex, you name it, you got it. There's a lot of different and creative ways to make these things happen. So because commercial is very expanded, this should help get your thought processes and your thinking juices flowing to figure out, hey, what are your immediate needs, and then how can mortgage experts bring value to your immediate needs to help whatever your vision is come to fruition.
I love that. I love that. The development deals right now. What I've learned from working at CoStar in the past is um, the trend of new builds and new developments. And right now, when all of this new development is going on, this is the time to get into that arena as well. So those are also options for you to get in. So you come to us with the idea, we formulate the plan, and we put it in motion. Um, um, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Anything you want to add, Steve?
No, I mean, this is a great experience. I'm glad that you opened up this forum for people to be educated and enlightened. And keep in mind, when the thought hits you that this is something that you want to do, whether you're a year away, 2 years away, or if it's an immediate, um, make the phone call, send the email, get in contact with us however you can so that we can at least start helping you put your plan in place. You put the right plan in place, that way you're able to do your feasible studies, you're able to make sure that it even makes financial sense for you and your business or whatever the case may be. That's what we're here for. That's why we are mortgage experts. And I always like to say we do what the banks do, but we also do what they don't. That gives you the power, that empowers you to be able to create this wealth perspective that we want to assist you with and help you get to. So don't hesitate. The minute that thought hits, hey, make that phone call, Sandra. Hey, I got this idea, or this is what I'm thinking, or this is what I think I want to do. And let's put that in play and start helping you put your plan together and help you create wealth for not only yourself but your business. Because we know that if we can help expand your business, then we can help expand jobs. We can help expand when it comes to tax revenue, all of the above things that help drive this economy.
I agree. That's what I was going to say. At first, if you have a business that you're trying to expand and you feel like you've outgrown your space, now is the time. This is your message. You're seeing this at the time that it's supposed to be, that you're supposed to see it. I do this because I want to impact the community. I want to give you the information. A lot of times we sit back and we may have all of these thoughts in our mind, but we don't put them to action because we may be afraid. We may say, oh, that's a dumb question. Or we may say, oh, I can't do that. It's not attainable. Or you may be thinking, I need all of this money to start a business. And right now I'm not in that. Steve just told you we have grant options for you. All you need is the heart. All you need is the mindset. And then you need to put a plan in place. And then that's what we're here for. That's when you call us and you say, I'm ready to put this plan in place. What do I need to do? You don't have to have all the answers. Nobody has all the answers. That's the whole point of reaching out to a professional to get the answers and to get the guidance to build what you need to build. But at this time and in this present moment, it's time for us to change the narrative. It's time for us to build for ourselves. It's time for us to build our communities and offer the services that we're out here boycotting. And I don't want to get into that. But if we have it in our community and we're able to offer it, then you have someone here saying, I can help you get that started. So.
Right. And to add on to that, Sandra, as you also referenced earlier, you're not limited because we're in the DMV, but you're not limited to the DMV. We can do this anywhere in the United States. So the opportunities are there. And Sandra just put out a plea for you to take advantage of these opportunities. And kind of keep in mind, all of this falls under business consulting. So if whatever your ideas are, sometimes you might have to have some other perspectives to help you manifest your ideas. So whatever your ideas are, this all falls under the commercial real estate scope. So anything that is a thought Think about it. A lot of people who had these thoughts became multi-billionaires as a result. And one surefire way of creating wealth for yourself is through real estate. 90% of the billionaires in the world created their wealth through some form of real estate, and we're your starting point to you helping you create wealth and possibly become that billionaire.
Absolutely. And the only place is, the only thing you have to do is start, make the plan. We'll help you execute. So for all of my mortgage lenders out there, or LOs, or what we call it in the business, this is what Mortgage Experts has to offer. This man taught me everything I know about the business, along with Marcus. So if you're interested in changing brokerages and becoming a part of the team, we welcome you on. This is the knowledge, the wealth of knowledge that you will have access to if you come join our team. If you're new to the business and you want to get into real estate, we'll guide you through that part as well. We're all about building a community. We work together. I asked Steve, I asked Marcus, you seen him on a couple of weeks ago. Can y'all come on and let's share some knowledge? And both of them jumped to the chance. That's the type of brokerage that I want to be with. So that's why I do the things that I do to promote our businesses. So, if you want to come join, give me a call. I can help you with that. And, always got to put that shameless plug. So anything you want to add to that, Steve?
No, I'm done. I think all has been said and been done. And again, I thank you for this opportunity and this platform, and may your voice expand all over the world. And there's nowhere to go but up, right? As Sandra said, or reference, she's been navigating our recruiting efforts. So if someone is, whether you new or a seasoned loan officer, or whatever the case may be, senior, whatever title you hold, you just want to have a conversation to see if we're a good fit. As you can see, we offer a lot in regards to the products that we serve. Again, I will go back to my slogan: I do what the banks do, but also do what they don't, which gives us a lot of power to empower the large that we serve. So thank you again, Sandra, for this opportunity. I know I think we're over our 30 minutes. But again, thank you so much. And if there's any questions, get them in. Get them in. Every question is a dumb question. Thank you so much for your time.
Yes. All right. At 341-341-2200. If you need to talk to me directly, it's 301-965-1155. Feel free to DM me. Feel free to comment under any of these videos. Like, share, comment, guys. This information can reach some people and teach some people and help some people. And we're looking forward to serving you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have an amazing day.